you lack perspective. There is a reason why everything that happens in your life takes your attention right away. The girl that you date, the job that you lost, or the job that you want, the things that you would rather be doing, everything that happens, every little problem that comes up in your life takes your attention right away. It's almost like you just don't know how to separate your thoughts and emotions from your awareness. And that's because you lack perspective. And I put it to you this way, and I hope this makes sense to you. Have you imagined yourself on your deathbed, being an 80-year-old or maybe even more? Have you imagined that? You did? Good. Now imagine after you're gone. Would it make a difference? Maybe the people that loves you, they will grieve for you, they'll be sad for a while. Then what happens? Life goes on. And I think this is the calmness and clarity that could be gained from having perspective in life, or outside of life, I should say. And because even thinking on a span of your life is a short perspective. People before you came and went, you're here, you're gonna go eventually, and then the people after you will come. And that's a cycle. Your life is, on a large enough perspective, your life is nothing but a pop, a snap, compared to the life of the universe. Is older than you by I don't know how many years, because I just don't have that perspective. But let me tell you, the moment you expand your perspective, it becomes stupid to hold back. It becomes stupid to play safe. It's almost like you can finally enjoy life to the utmost of your capabilities. You want that business, you go chase it. You want that friend, go be friends with him. You want that girl, go talk to that girl. You want that type of physique, go work out. You want to study this degree, go get this degree. You want to read this book, go read this book. You want to travel to this place, travel to this place. Your life, when you live your life on that aspect, when you enlarge in your perspective to reach that point where it's like, my purpose might not be what I do in this life. And maybe a lot of people ask this question, what's my purpose? And I always tell them, your purpose is to exist. Whatever you do in this life is your choice. And your choice alone. Only you can make that choice. No, you can't let anyone decide for you. That's why you need to be content with the choice you're making. I already made choices about what I want to be doing right now. Now, these choices might change 5, 3, 10 years in. But at the end of the day, my innermost purpose is to simply exist, is to simply be. Everything else that I decide to do with my life is up to me. And that's the perspective you need to acquire. You need to get this type of perspective where if you just enlarge in it long enough, you understand that all the things that you're absorbed in, all the petty things that you're worried about, they don't mean nothing in the long term. They don't mean nothing. Because at the end of the day, everything that comes together must go separate ways. Everything. That's just a rule. Everything. Look at the trees. It eventually comes alive, then goes. Everything comes and goes. And if you take this perspective to a certain degree, you realize that applies to everything. Literally everything. And that's why you gotta understand that the things that you're worried about right now, why are you stressed? Why are you scared of what people think of you? Why are you worried about your manager yelling at you? It's because you lack perspective. It's normal to feel these things, but have the perspective in the long term to catch yourself in it. And that builds awareness. That perspective builds awareness in that regard. Because when you gain that perspective, you start to have awareness. Your thoughts and emotion, you can start to observe your thoughts and emotion as they come and not identify with them, because you're not your thoughts and emotion. And I can make a separate video about that. You're the observer. There's a reason why you can imagine 2 different scenarios, and you can try this exercise for yourself. You can imagine yourself in a car accident, and you can imagine yourself in laying down in a bed and you're seated on a chair. And you can just observe both of them, feel them completely, and you'll still bring yourself back. Why is that? Because you're not your thoughts and emotions. You're just an observer. Your presence. And I don't want to wander off too much. I don't want to go to another topic. That's a topic for another video now. Let me not get started. But understand that this is where a lot of suffering in your life comes from a lack of perspective. You just lack perspective. The moment you start getting more perspective in life, the moment you start letting small things affect you and start living your life to your own accord, you don't live life to anyone else's accord except yours. Freedom is already in you. You have freedom of choice. And then everything else can derive from that. Of course, there are certain scenarios of certain other factors like your childhood conditioning and the limiting environment that you're in. Those are all factors that we cannot deny. But at the end of the day, with that perspective I give you, and with the combined freedom of choice that you have, what is stopping you from living a life that's truly authentic to you and what feels best to you? The answer is simply nothing.